I hate to break it to you. This isn't a stretch. But this sport is physical. And you're not invincible.
All doctor is CPR.
If you're hitting the dirt, you'll really be hitting the dirt. Crashes happen, and fractures, sprains, and concussions quickly follow. So how could we ease up on the pain without easing up on that throttle? The most common injuries, the flexible joints in your wrist and ankles. Delicate at all the wrong times. These joints are holding the weight of your body and sitting over the direct points of contact with the bike. You could get space braces to help you out. A good investment if you've already had an injury, but not all riders find these comfortable, especially around the wrist. They restrict a bit of that motion. See, you shouldn't be fighting with control with your arms. You should be using your knees to help guide the bike. As a bonus, your arms won't get tired as quickly, you won't get as much arm pump. So basically being in good form, good position, having the knees hug the bike is really gonna help the side-to-side movement. As for your ankles, opt for a mid-range boot. And you'll get a strong TPU shell with a mild pivot point at the ankle with just enough movement for lever control. But not so much that you risk overextension in the event of a hard landing. Make sure yours aren't too clapped out. Boots soften over time. Repeated movements, moisture from your feet and legs, even washing them softens them up. And a boot that's too soft and worn in allows for more movement. For an extra level of protection, you can go with space braces or some kind of ankle brace, but it will affect how tight your boots fit. This ain't a desk job. In this sport, you are constantly standing on the bike, so your knees act as your suspension to help juggle the bike from side to side. Standard knee protectors will help you in terms of an impact by covering the joint with either a hard plastic, gel, or some kind of combination of both, but don't do much to support the knee structure itself, which is why the safer option would be the knee brace. These limit the freedom of movement the knee has in its natural state, and do much more to protect from lateral forces by limiting side-to-side movement and preventing overextension. A-Stars, Mobius, Leatt, and EVS all make their own designs. Kind of all do the same thing, preventing your ACL from getting all f***ed up. All right, we got Snaps. Mobius went with this pretty cool cable tightening system, kind of like the new snowboard boots. And the rest, classic Velcro, the roll-up windows of fasteners. They cost way more than a basic knee pad. So unless I'm racing Supercross or got busted knees to begin with, impact protection it is. Collarbone injuries? Unfortunately, there is no gear or specific device that's gonna protect you from them. But it's not a direct hit you should be worried about. Look at it this way. When you're in the attack position, your head should be over the handlebars with your arms squared. This gives you maximum stability and control. But say your landing was a bit too rough, nose too far down, or you bail, you'll be forced into a position where your arms will act as suspension, with the collarbones being the weak point. Too much energy to absorb and snap. Like the Woo said, protect your neck.
Kind of looks like a toilet seat.
Are you my judge?
There's a lot of controversy around neck protectors, and controversy in combination to their high price tag makes them a little less popular option. Neck braces limit the range of motion your neck has by positioning these shelves front and back to prevent the helmet from rotating too far forward, too far back, and side to side. So these legs, yeah, that's what they call them, fit into pre-designed slots in your chest protector, front and back, so that in case of an impact, it'll spread out the energy across a larger surface area. The argument goes, what if the rotational forces rotate the damn helmet over the brace? Easy there, Karen. At the end of the day, it's what ifs. And while that does make sense, since vertebrae at the top of the spine are weaker than the ones at the bottom of the spine, if a crash that bad does happen, is any gear really gonna save you? Truth is, designs are getting better. Being fully kitted out like a Dollarama Robocop in the latest and greatest gear can only protect you so much.
I'd buy that for $1.
Riding within your abilities is one thing, but riding with clean, proper form is the best way to stay comfortable and on the bike. Companies strive to find the sweet spot between gear that does the job without restricting too much free range of motion. But too much in either direction upsets the balance of function. So for off-road gear, the choice of what to wear is personal. One size does not fit all. What you take to the track might not be what you take to the trail. Just don't show up in shorts and flip-flops.